Hey, what is up YouTube? I'm back here, and today I have making episode 6, and today I'm going to be making Jedi Knight Revan as seen in Star Wars The Old Republic and suggested by Broken Nathan. So first I want to thank Broken Nathan for suggesting this figure. It was a figure that I wasn't even really aware existed. I know I've seen a ton of people make the Dark Side Revan, but I've never actually seen anybody make Jedi Knight Revan before in Lego form. So I think this is a really cool figure that I'm going to be able to actually try out. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a lot of sculpting. But yeah, you can see the base parts I have here. We have dark brown legs and hips and the white torso and the head. I'm going to try sculpting the mask on and then sculpting a hood for it. So yeah, it should be pretty exciting, and make sure to drop suggestions down below for what figure you want to see next. The one with the most likes is the one that I'll choose. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into making this figure. Alright, so I started off first with the Procreate. I'm going to be using a lot of Procreate and sculpting in general on this figure. And so the first part was just doing the base mask, mainly the shape. So I took just a blank black head as I showed in the first part, and was using the X-Acto knife to sort of carve the shape out. Then the next part was carving into the actual mask itself. Instead of carving the shape out, it was just creating the actual spot for the visor. I then added the little marks on the bottom part as well. And then I sculpted the base shape of the torso just to elevate it a little bit, all except the two corners. And then I sculpted the shoulder pads for the arms, just mainly trying to give it a sleeve effect. And this was definitely a little bit tedious. I just was mainly just going in at an angle just to give these not like too sharp edges, but just give it a little bit like a robe effect, which is what he is wearing on that part of his arms. I then took a sheet of Procreate that I had carved out, and this was going to be the wrap for the legs. So I just took it and basically just glued it all the way around. So the legs are not going to be posable, but that honestly makes sense for this figure, since generally with any figure where you're making robes, it's not going to be posable. And so I just had a little crease in the center where I tucked it underneath. And then I'm making the bottom part of the arms now. This is like his robes drape down over his arms, so here they're not as substantial as the top part, but they're still present. So I'm just doing this so I don't have to do the bottom part of the arm as well. And then I sculpted the back of the torso as well, just mainly making the hood, just how it basically is draping over his back, and I did this using the X-Acto knife again, just creating a general shape and then sort of touching it up as I went, and getting rid of the bottom sections. So I then added the pieces of electrical tape on the front of the torso just to simulate general shapings of his torso armor. And I didn't really want to sculpt on top too much, like adding layer after layer. So I did this for both the legs and the torso just to like limit bulkiness. And I did sculpt on the legs a little bit more, just to bulk out that little piece that is going over his legs, and part of the robes as well. But yeah, generally I just added a couple more details, and here I was just sculpting little smaller pieces and like the belt that were going to be added later. And you can see I glued on various pieces now. And we have the ring as well that is by his belt, which I'm really not sure what the piece of that armor is called, but it's definitely an iconic piece in general for both of the Revan armors. And here I'm painting the white visor. So Revan's, I wasn't really sure what to do with Revan's mask, honestly. I know that the armor itself has this brown color, so painting a white like visor seemed kind of weird, but I think it works, and it really helps just with the coloring later that comes. But here is the brown that I'm using, is the Mornfang brown, and you can see me painting. It pretty much goes all around just the torso and the general robe pieces on his leg. And yeah, I'm just painting inside the ring there, as you can see as well. So here I'm adding a sort of like crimson red almost. It's a little bit more purplish than a crimson red, but it still sort of looks like one. But yeah, here I'm just painting just right above the visor and then right below it as well, and then all the way down with a stripe. And then I'm adding the brown to the bottom of the arms, which are the only non-sculpted areas of the arms. So once I finished those, I figured it was time to start mixing the main color, which I really just was using sort of like a tan khaki color, and then just adding white to it until I got it to the lightness that I wanted. And this color is basically going to be the main color outside of the brown. Basically wherever the brown isn't, this is the color that's going to be on the body. And you can see me painting pretty much all the way around, just watering down the paint a little bit as I apply it, just so it doesn't become too bulky. And here I'm applying it to the arms as well, covering the basically what are the robes, just so it all matches. And so here we have the entire figure body painted. Pretty much just all of the general sculpting areas are painted now, and then I was adding the electrical tape to the ring and painting that over with brown as well, and adding little smaller details on the back. And I also painted the rest of the visor as well, and you can see the arms are finished there. And here we have the general sculpting for the hood. This was probably the hardest part of this figure, just getting this to the point where I actually liked it. There was a lot of just touch and go, and I figured out that like I needed to get it under, like right where the neck connector is, so I had to redo it a couple times. And I basically sculpted the general shaping for the front first, and then added more as I went along until I got it to a nice consistency on the back as well, so it didn't show the stud. And then here you can see I added the general markings for the head as well, including a lead belcher color and a silver finish. And then here is the whole hood shape as well. And here I'm just doing some general touch-up, since sanding down the hood did take away some of the paint, because I couldn't remove it, which was a little short-sighted of me, but I think it worked out. And then I just added the paint, or the tan-ish color, to the hood as well to match the body. And then here you can see the whole figure finished. It's just generally one of my favorite Star Wars The Old Republic characters that I think I've made. And yeah, I think it turned out really, really nice. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comments. And just a reminder, I'm going to say it again, just drop some suggestions down below for what figure you would want to see in the next episode. I really do like making these Old Republic characters, so I definitely have the parts for more of those. But yeah, it can be anything, and you can see it goes nicely with the lineup that I currently have. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and this is goodbye, and have a nice day.